Boys and girls, Alex here with Mind Property Management. I'm here with Giles Emery. Giles, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Alex.
Awesome. Giles and I are having a lot of fun talking about AB 1482, rent control law that recently got passed in California. Now, what we're trying to do is discuss all the details and implications. Giles here has 14 years of legal experience in real estate. He's a corporate counsel here at Mind. Very lucky to have him. And because we have him, we want to ask him a few questions. Our customers asking us questions, and so that's what we're going to do. So today's topic, Giles, we're going to talk about exemptions. Who can get exemptions, how to get exemptions, and also maybe we'll touch a little bit on what that rent cap increase actually is.
Sure. Yeah, so the Assembly Bill itself has got two components, as you know, the rent cap and then the just cause ordinance, which we've covered in another video. But the rent cap piece of it, the legislators don't like to call it rent control. They call it, it's a rent cap. But in essence, it's a statewide initiative. So unless you're covered by a more stringent rent control ordinance in your local jurisdiction, this bill now caps your residential home rental unit to 5% plus the cost of living, which is measured as the consumer price index for the region that your home is living, or located, I should say. Mm-hmm. So unless you qualify for one of the stated exemptions that's spelled out into this bill, then you are now capped at the 5% plus the CPI.
Effective when? January 1st, right?
Yeah. The bill itself goes into effect January 1, 2020. There is a look-back provision for rent increases that goes back to March 15 of this year, 2019. So when the bill goes into effect in January 1, there's a look-back, and your rental rate would level set to the maximum that would have been allowed back on March 15th. So you can't take it as an opportunity to maximize your rents before it goes into effect. It's already got a look back.
They already have it sort of locked to March 2019, right?
March of this past prior March of 2019.
Got it. Okay. And so what are some of the exemptions? You talked about exemptions.
Sure. So there's a number of exemptions in there. Hotels, transient housing is exempt. The ones our owners are going to care about are there's also new construction. So if it's a new construction, it is exempt for 15 years after the certificate of occupancy, and so that's basically how this bill passed.
So presumably giving the developers still the ability and the freedom,
the upside
to actually build, because that's the crisis here in California is just related to the housing does not match the housing, I guess, stock does not match the amount of people that are looking.
Correct.
To.
And the 15 years is designed to allow developers to get their money back from their investment. But once the 15 years expires, you're subject to this bill unless you qualify for one of the other exemptions, which would be owner-occupied housing. So if you have a duplex and you as an owner live in one unit, your entire duplex would be exempt from this. If you have a single-family home that you occupy as well, and you're just renting out rooms, you'd be exempt from this. Mm-hmm. If you're sharing facilities, so if you're in a rental unit where you're sharing a kitchen or facilities within that, you'd be exempt even if it's not a single-family home.
Like student housing.
Student housing itself has its own exemption.
Got it.
It's official student housing that's being provided by a university, that will be exempt, even regardless of those. And then the big one, single-family homes, which we touched on some of our prior interviews. Yeah, so single-family homes are exempt unless it is owned by a real estate investment trust, a corporation, or a limited liability company where one of the members is a corporation. But if you're an individual that owns a single-family home, the rent cap and the just cause ordinance does not apply.
Gotcha. So on the surface, the bill seems fairly simple. Given the complexity of ordinances that came out in the past and nationwide, this is fairly simple. But as you point out, there's lots of little gotchas in there. There's lots of ways that you can get qualified or exempt from this particular bill. And you can be exempt at some time and not exempt the other time, depending on the situation. So our recommendation is probably get a quality property management company to help you navigate this. And Mind, obviously that's what we do. But if you want to see more of our interviews on the subject, we dive a little deeper into these specific topics. Go to mind.co, mynd.co, type in AB 1482 and search up on top. Up come the videos Giles and I have done. We'll also probably be on YouTube. You know, it's popular these days. That's what kids are watching.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some gotchas in there, as I mentioned in the earlier videos. So even if you do qualify for one of these exemptions, you've got to make sure you have the right disclosure language in there that notifies your tenants that you're exempt, or else you don't get the benefit of them. So real important.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helped you out.